And welcome to Liquid Lunch, coming at you live. It's me, Hugh, and we're here today with Dr. Darrell Wolfe. Coming back on the show, Dr. Wolfe is the Doc of Detox, and he's also the founder of the International Training Institute of Health. And I guess that's what we're going to talk about today, Darrell, is the Institute and the reason for it. So maybe you can start by giving us a bit of an introduction to the Institute itself, and then we'll get into some of the nitty-gritty of what you guys do.
Thanks, Hugh. Absolutely. The International Training Institute of Health is basically what it's about. It's about training. It's about training professionals, and it's also about training the general public. So I've been in the business for 35 years, and I started doing my trainings about 25 years ago. But what we found was that we needed to really reevaluate things, because what I found was putting my time into treating and the nutritional side of it. Yes, we're helping people. There's no doubt about it. But there's nothing, the old story about you can give a man a fish, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll be able to feed himself for the rest of his life. And we have something very powerful in what we do, and the thing is that it needs to be shared. So the only way to do that is to train people. Mm-hmm. So we develop these courses, and we're really amping them up in the way that unless we train people, then how are they ever going to look after themselves? So what happens is even in the natural health field, people go from treatment to treatment. So you go and you get treated, they tell you what you need to do, or they give you these certain supplements, or they work on your body. Oh, I feel better. And then it's only so long that emotionally or physically or mentally, things go out of balance again. So then you go back and you go for your treatment. So
you become dependent on the therapist or on the therapy, right?
Yeah. So here we are. We talk about how the medical system does that all the time, but meanwhile, in the natural health field, do we really do a lot different? No. So I've decided that I want to really train. So we want to at least give that choice to people. Some people will go, well, I don't want to know. I like somebody looking after me. Yeah. But for those people who want to know, we've developed courses where we actually retrain professionals on how to get right down to the foundational part of nutrition and into body work. And we also teach the general public, but they're at different levels, these courses.
I think one of the other things you said was that, or one of the things that I say all the time, because I get the opportunity to meet all kinds of practitioners and that sort of thing, is that people need to take responsibility for their own health, right? It's not their doctor's responsibility. And I choose to be responsible for my own health. So I will choose the practitioners that I'm going to use to help me be as healthy as I can be, right? I make those decisions, though. So it sounds like what you're doing is you're giving people the tools, the knowledge that they can really step up and take responsibility for their own health and actually implement a lot of these things themselves.
You're absolutely right. But if I can step back just one step, they never knew they could, because when you get here, everything, if the minute you're born, somebody changes your diapers and they just a comparison and they wipe your bum for you, then you never will. You don't even know how. So right. What we need to do is we need to let people know that there can only be one master of their body, and if somebody else masters it, they've got a different plan for you. Mm-hmm. And they need to know that they can master it, and you don't need a degree, you don't need a white coat, you don't need hours of training, because it was never built that way. It's your body, and if you wouldn't have been given your body if you weren't able to look after it. So all we want to do is create that avenue so for the first time in their life, they can look after their bodies. Or for the professional that's went and taken like a really in-depth course where, he's taken, a few years, he's got a lot of information that actually took him off track. Mm-hmm. So what our professional courses are to do is to bring them right back on track.
So, for example, a doctor who's been educated in the medical establishment who might have a little bit of a bias towards using pharmaceuticals, what you're saying is you're offering information that says, maybe pharmaceuticals aren't the best treatment in all circumstances, and there's a whole bunch of other approaches that you could be using.
Well, yes and no, because I'm not telling people to opt for this and not for medical. I'm saying those people that understand that we are living, breathing organisms, and everything is frequency, and what we decide to do, and what we decide to eat, what we decide to think, what we decide to drink, all creates that frequency. And once people have that, then they would decide, wow, I looked at his courses and he gets right to it. There's no slough in his courses. He gives us the tools and he doesn't give us anything else. And he also provides the support, ongoing support to keep training us. So it's not whether it's medical or this way, it's if you want to step up and you want to sort of like, if you're, like I said, if you're the general public and you want to learn how to master your own body and take control, that's what we're here for. If you're already in the health profession, but you'd like to really learn the art of detoxification and the art of nutrition, and not the art of nutrition as commercial nutrition, vitamin A, B, C, D, E, but
Or the Jell-O that they give you at the hospital.
That's right.
Right.
So this is not the dietitian stuff.
Right.
This is the whole plant-based food stuff, because what the nutritional industry did is they pulled the whole plant food and they pulled it apart so that they could put it into 20 different bottles. See? So that's wrong too. So nutrition isn't right. So what we want to do is we want to teach that foundational, bring it back to where it was when our great-grandparents weren't sick.
Back when all the food was organic, even though it wasn't labeled organic, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about there's 5 courses I understand. Let's go through them maybe one by one. But there are 2 different groups, right? There's a group of professional courses and then a group of...
More general.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and the professional courses are done by professionals and done by people who have never been in the health industry before. So it's not, it's open to everyone because everyone deserves it. So, we have people that take our professional courses that are chiropractors, acupuncturists, nutritionalists, massage therapists, or people that are already in the field that want to have that aspect. And then we have people that have never been or done health before that actually take our professional courses. So powerful is also simple, and simple is also powerful. It doesn't have to be complicated. It was made complicated so that it would scare people away.
Yeah, so people would be impressed by the large vocabulary and lay their money down.
And I don't have a large vocabulary, and everything that I can do, I can teach to anyone that has that passion.
Okay, so let's talk about the different let's name the courses so we can get a sense of what they're all
Well, the first one is called Whole Life Coach Certified.
Okay.
And that is a certification course in not in basic, but in foundational nutrition and detoxification. And basically what that's about is it's about how to actually do a consultation on you, Hugh, taking a look at all the aspects, all the different things about you, and personally building a program for you from the minute you wake up until you go to bed, that ideal program, and then how to tweak that program to give you the life that you deserve, in a nutshell.
So that's anybody that would enroll in that course would undergo this process and come out of with a complete program.
Yes,
wow.
Having that, and then the next course that we do is called Wolfe Deep Tissue Certification. Now, the Wolfe Deep Tissue Certification, what I'd like to do, maybe I can explain why we do it. First of all, out of all the body therapies that are out there, and please, everything has its place in the natural health industry or wherever. Some people want to be stroked when they get massage. Some people want acupuncture to balance out the meridians. But we're talking about a whole new ball game here. Whether you're talking about somebody that has a frozen shoulder, carpal tunnel syndrome, is going to have hip surgery, knee surgery, somebody got low back pain, somebody who has had whiplash, doesn't matter. where it is. It always has to do with scar tissue.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you that even the deep tissue therapies out there do not get rid of scar tissue. There's a certain way and a certain method that you have to do it. And when I train, it's using the elbow. And it's actually what happens is the fibers get all clumped up and sticky. Do you know when you get up in the morning you feel stiff? That's called sticky muscles. Do you know when your muscles get really stiff and you don't have that range of motion anymore? Mm-hmm. That's because the scar tissue is built up and you'll never have that again. Do you ever notice how guys who are in sports or people get together and they talk about their different war wounds that have never went away? That's because they've never found anybody that could break down the scar tissue.
So there's a way to do that?
Yes, and I can do it. And the thing is, and this is not like a pitch, but on my website it says, and when people come for treatment, and I don't care what the problem is, they go, so, oh yeah, I've heard about this, I've been everywhere. And I go, well, that's fine. But when you come to me, the first treatment, I will do more in that treatment than everybody's ever done for you in all the other treatments, or I'll give you your money back. I'm talking about somebody who has a frozen shoulder, they'll lift it up before they leave after the first treatment.
Now, what is it? Is there a certain kind of a protocol or a methodology?
Well, everything is about origin or insertion. And you know, what happens is, if I have a shoestring, right, and I tie that shoestring and I put a knot in it, is it longer or shorter?
It's the same length, except for the string's shorter because of the knot.
That's right.
I thought it was a trick question.
That was good. That was really good. I like that. You actually tricked me. So what happens is every time I tie a knot, it goes shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference between, oh, look at Grandpa. He's stiff as a board. Right?
Okay.
So whenever you have, did you ever notice something? Injuries never really go away. So let me explain a little further. So here's the deal. So in my course, the Whole Life Coach Certified, we talk about how the body becomes out of balance from diet to water to nutrition to exercise to everything, because most exercise create injury. Mm-hmm. The whole exercise field out there and equipment, most of that stuff is not good for you. That's why so many people get injured. Mm-hmm. You know, what we want to do when we exercise is lengthen, strengthen, detox, and tone. And there's certain exercises that do that. So anyways, so the Whole Life Coach Certified is to teach us how not to create the acidity, because acidosis is basically the only disease. So what happens is when you start rotting and putrefying in your body, you create this acidic situation. What that does is that dumps the acid into the bloodstream. Then guess what happens? Pain and inflammation are your body's mechanisms to keep you alive. If you didn't have pain and inflammation, you'd be dead because you would poison yourself. So now you've got pain and inflammation. Now, to get rid of that pain and inflammation is through what? Correct diet and nutrition and lifestyle. But people don't know how to do that because they're either going to go to drugs that make them more acidic, or what they're going to do is they're going to continue doing what they're doing. And what the body does, if you don't get rid of the pain and inflammation, it creates fibrin. So whether you're talking about a stiff joint, whether you're talking about a knee problem, ankle problem, I don't care what it is, you bring me anybody, and within 5 to 10 minutes, I will do more than has ever been done before to them in the way of opening up the joint, returning elasticity, range of motion to the joint and the muscle. So that's breaking down the scar tissue, and then through proper diet, we can flush all that back out. Now, right from the scar tissue in a joint or in a muscle, okay, all the way to a tumor, they're all made from the same thing. Mm-hmm. So what is the greatest thing that can create disease? Pain and inflammation, and you don't know how to look after that. So that's why we teach professionals how to break down the scar tissue, and then through proper lifestyle to train their patients how to not have it come back. You can't have one without the other. So you can, so anyways, so the Whole Life Coach Certified is a 5-day program to basically teach that. And then it's ongoing training. I continually train and keep training these people. Every second week we do conferencing, so to make sure that we're on top of it with them, that we can really hone that. And then with the Wolfe Deep Tissue, that's 8 days, and it's an intensive. where we do every joint, every muscle in the body and teach the technique and how to pull that apart.
So by the end of those 8 days, those students are going to come out and be able to deliver that same
Absolutely.
protocol to somebody else.
I guarantee it. Because you know what? You can take a course now in massage therapy and it's going to be 2 years. And I guarantee you, if you take my course, which is 8 days, you will have that person, before they walk out in that first treatment, they'll be walking out knowing that they don't have to go anywhere else.
Wow, okay. So
Yeah.
that's 2 courses, right?
Yeah. Now,
And-
those 2 courses are done separately or together.
Yeah.
So we combine them. So a person could just take the Whole Life Coach Certified, or they could just do the deep tissue, but we have them where they run usually sync together. And then we also have the Whole Life Coach Certified online.
Okay.
Yeah, so that people can actually take it online from around the world.
All right, but but it sounds like the deep tissue one, you really need to be hands-on, literally.
Let me ask you a
Right.
question. How would it feel to you, being a practitioner, that you could make a guarantee to someone that you were going to, within that first treatment, show them that they are going to fix?
Yeah.
I haven't had anybody that I cannot fix, except if we're talking about a spinal cord injury or someone who just didn't want to.
Okay.
Okay?
No, I think that would be great in terms of your ability to sell your service, right?
So let's break up the scar tissue. So now we bring back the blood flow, the range
Yeah.
of motion, the elasticity, and then if we have the knowledge to actually teach people how not to create it, and we can, where are we?
Okay, so what's the 3rd course then?
Okay, so the 3rd course, well, there was those were the 3 courses there.
Oh wait, I only got 2.
Well, the Whole Life Coach Certified could also be done online. You don't have to come
Oh,
to
so
get
one's
it
an
done.
online version.
That
of
one can be done online. And then the 4th course, okay,
Yeah.
you're going to love this one. And this one is really, people love it. It's called One-on-One Couples Training. Now, what happens is I get people who call me up and they go, "Hi, Dr. Wolfe, I heard about you." Like, I had a gentleman just call me up, and he was from Boulder, Colorado, and they were going to have to cut his nerves in his neck because of the migraines. Cluster migraines were so bad. They said there's nothing we can do. I won't go into the whole thing. So he's in his 70s, and so is his partner. I know this is a hard one, and he said to me, and his wife said, he's ready to commit suicide. He can't take it anymore. And I said, well, if you want to grab a plane and come up here and spend 5 days with me, I will teach you both how to work on each other. I will teach you diet, and I promise you I'll turn that around. If not, then I'll return any monies that you spent with me.
So it's basically, it sounds like perfect for couples who want to just take all this knowledge from both the Whole Life Coach and the deep tissue.
Well, this is the one-on-one training,
Yeah.
and they don't get all the knowledge, but what they do get is they get, you got to remember that everybody's specific. So for her,
Yeah.
we had to build a specific kind of day for her. So we build a day from the minute she gets up in the morning till she goes to bed. We built a day for him because they both may live together, but they are different people with different lifestyles. So we did that, and they understand that, and they're still in touch with me. So then what we did was that we videoed. I worked on him, and I showed her how to work on. Everybody has 3 to 5 points in their body that you have them now. It's either your hip or your shoulder, your back. You have them. I know you do. You have 3 to 5 of them. And guess what? Those 3 to 5 will be what puts you in the nursing home or cripple you. And those you don't have to have. And I make that money back guarantee that you do not have to have them, and we will get rid of them.
Okay.
If you decide you really want to get
So
rid of
does
them.
that include lower back? Because we know how difficult that can be, right?
Well, no, lower back is a piece of cake. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip. We'll go side angle here for a second.
Yeah, okay.
In your lower back, you've got 2 bones, right?
Yeah.
Down on either side of your spine. You know those 2 bones right here? They're tuberosities. First of all, they get scar tissue all around them, so you're not able to move properly. And then around the top of your hip, you get scar tissue in there. If I just cleaned out those 2 areas and on top of your hip and clean those out, and I took 10 minutes to do that right now, you give me somebody who can barely walk and I can
Yeah, I could have brought
limp
somebody
along.
in today.
Well, you know, if you want to get together again, you bring them in,
Okay.
and we will do a show.
Okay.
And I will do it live,
Wow.
and I will prove my point.
Wow. It's
And
amazing.
any day, you
like,
know.
because think about the chiropractors, right? You know?
But okay, if I can say something,
Yeah.
you know, my friend is a chiropractor, and he did an adjustment on my neck today, which I am very thankful for. But remember something: when he adjusted it, it's the scar tissue in my neck that keeps pulling the joint out.
Mm-hmm.
And when a chiropractor puts your joint back in, it's only going to stay temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember the string when you tied the knot, it makes it shorter, and when you get stressed out, that gets inflamed, and then it pulls the joint out again. It's not like your joint's pulled right out, but it's out of place.
Yeah.
Then he bangs it back in.
Right.
Now, if you break down the scar tissue,
Yeah.
right, and you know how to eat properly and detoxify, and the other thing is I have a product called Gentle Daily Cleansing Tea. And if you take that Gentle Daily Cleansing Tea, it tastes like iced tea in the morning and at night, you're never building up any waste. So why wouldn't you cleanse gently every day, not build up the waste? But you know what we do? We pile it up, and then we do a cleanse every few months. Oh my God, I feel like crap. And then you come and you go, wow, that's the best I've felt in a year. Then why didn't you stay on something to not build it back up? Anyways, so what I'm saying is we've been educated into a lower level of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do is retrain people to show them that, hey, you are everything. You've got the intelligence. You've got the ability to look after you and your family. You don't need me. You might need some of my training though. So that's the one-on-one couples training is for couples, but we have people, like I had a gentleman fly from overseas. He came himself. And what I did was I worked on him, and we videoed everything, and then he went back and his therapist followed the videos and continued to work.
Ah.
So then I have another gentleman who came from the Yukon, and this is just lately, and he was supposed to have surgery on his shoulder, frozen shoulder. He just had it a year ago. They told him he was going to do it again. He heard about me. I did a 2-hour treatment. That's it, I promise. And that was 6 months ago. And he went back to his doctor 3 days later, and his doctor said, whoa, range of motion's back. You don't need the surgery. And that's 6 months ago. So, but I also taught him how to keep it away. So, because remember something, it's all the glicky sticky that causes it to stick, that creates the pain, the inflammation, and extra fibrin, because the body wants to go in and isolate that inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you continually are in pain, you're depleting your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
If you deplete your immune system, then the viruses and the bacteria and the fungus and the parasites are going to overtake your body. Because the lower you vibrate, the closer you get down to worm level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then our last course is one of our most popular, and that's called Master Your Health Weekend Warrior. And it's called the Weekend Warrior because, and remember, if I can say this, we teach these courses, okay, all over the globe. Like we have associations and groups that will call us and say, can you come and teach your deep tissue course or your whole life course or both of them? And we'll come and we'll do it there. Instead of like 12 people flying here, we fly there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Weekend Warrior. The Weekend Warrior, people will come on a Friday night. For the first 2 hours, I'll answer any question. Anything that they, everybody's got health questions.
Mm-hmm.
I never could get that answered.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 2 hours I do that, and then I show my deep tissue, and I go, I'll take, okay, who here has had a problem, neck, hip, anything, and has never been able to fix it. And then I show how in 5 to 10 minutes I can release it. And then I explain how it's all scar tissue. So you can do all the acupuncture you want, chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage all you want, but until you break up that scar tissue, you're not going to lengthen, strengthen, and bring back elasticity and tone. So that's what we do the first 2 hours of the Weekend Warrior. And then they come in on Saturday, and then I have a slideshow, and I go through and I show everything. Where to shop, what to buy, what's the best for you to eat, for your blood type. Then we'll do a consultation on someone to show how we would do a consult, and so that people understand more. Then what we do is we go and we show about how to do skin brushing, salt glow, castor oil pack, how to look after your skin, how to do certain detoxifications for certain organs, how to gently just do things each day, little things, so that you are never owned by anyone, that you remain the master of your health. So then that's that day, and the next morning they come in, I answer their questions, and then the rest of the day, guess what we do? I teach everybody how to work on each other on their points, and we do that for about 3 to 4 hours, and everybody goes home and they just get a little bit, and they understand, and they go home, and now they can work on their families a little bit. You know, the whole thing, don't touch them, you might hurt them, you could break it. That's not true, because you would always cause too much pain before you ever hurt anyone. But you're always taught, no, don't you do that, don't you touch her. So here's the deal. So if you take my couples training, so now your wife rolls over and her back goes, oh God, my back, it's starting to go out. It's not starting to go out. It's the scar tissue's inflamed and the knot's never been broken down. Honey, just here, move over. So she moves over and you get in there and you can feel it. And I teach you and you'll go, whoa. And you can feel you're actually breaking this scar tissue up. And guess what? 5 minutes, she's asleep. She wakes up in the morning, never knew she had a back problem. But she might feel a little bit of tenderness because you had to break up the scar tissue to get the blood flow in to bring the balance back.
Well, so that sounds like, so the Master Your Health is kind of, is it all the training wrapped into one
Master
weekend?
Your Health Weekend Warrior is for, okay, so you've been going along, and you're going, oh, I'm just struggling with this. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried this, I've tried that. Oh, did you hear about Dr. Wolfe? He's got this course called the Weekend Warrior. You go there for 1 weekend. He puts the whole thing together for you and gets rid of all the slough and stuff, right? And he'll teach you how to look after your body without playing salesman on you. So he'll teach you how to make huge changes in your body that do not cost you so that you can bring back health to yourself.
Now, these changes in the body are changes in lifestyle, because that's really, I mean, it's, you got to, some people are addicted to their lifestyles, right? It's difficult a lot of times for people to make a move, right?
You know what? It's like this. At one time, I used to always have to have brown sugar in my coffee, right? Now, that was never, ever good for me,
Right.
okay? I didn't give it up until it was creating headaches for me. So we're just making up a story here. So people don't usually learn, Hugh. Only 1 person out of 1,000 learns because of intelligence. People learn, everybody's got a different pain threshold. People, the average person out there is brainwashed. They're not dumb, they're very intelligent. It's just that you can't turn on your radio, your TV, and even if you go home and talk to your wife or your friends about health, they're all talking to you about the health that you've been sold through the media. So, you know, you guys are all, you're all just in the same old pot pretending you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So then, not pretending, you believe you do. I didn't mean it that way, sorry, I apologize. So, but what happens is, if it wasn't for me being in this business for 35 years, I'd be dead, Hugh. Because I have an addictive personality anyways, right? Like most people. But I've learned. But it's taken a lot of training. So I understand. But people usually come to us when they're on their knees going, okay, I'll change. I'll give it up. There's got to be a better way, because I can't go on living like this anymore. And I don't mean to say it, but people who come to our courses are usually like that, or there's one other difference, Hugh, the young.
Young people, because they're more open
No,
to...
the young people today are a whole different breed than me and you.
Really? Like what?
They see it. They see it. They see that the medical system and pharma, they see the whole GMO thing. They're right on top of it. I can talk to people my age. They're just like so clued out. But the spark's still alive with the younger people. I love dealing with younger people because they're just like, and guess what? They're not naive, Hugh. So it's not about being naive. They're awake.
Well, I think they're going to have to be, because, you know, like our socialized Medicare system, I mean, it is unsustainable as it is currently.
Well,
at some point, something's going to have to give, and we're going to have to
Hugh,
start looking after ourselves.
We call our healthcare system drugs, radiation, chemotherapy, and surgery.
Yeah.
That's our healthcare system, Hugh.
And Jell-O.
Yeah, and Jell-O. But no offense here, but Hugh, people deserve this. They deserve these things. You know why? Because if anybody were to sit down logically and go, does that have anything to do with life? It doesn't. So, we've allowed these people to get away with this. So here's the deal. Until the many understand what the few are up to, there'll never be any changes. But what we can do is we can take and start doing training courses and teaching those people who want a choice, those people who want to be the masters of their own life. They say that, we got to run for the cure, beg for the cure. We get in lines at the grocery store, they're asking for money from us. That is just, Nixon, well, how long ago was that? Almost 30 years ago, Nixon waged war on cancer. And you know what? Guess what? The rates have quadrupled. Okay? So that's not working. You got to get your life and you got to take it back. You know what? You've got to become the cure. Because a cure is something you do daily, Hugh. Oh, here's the cure. Take this pill, Hugh. Go home, take this pill. How long are you cured, Hugh? You're only cured until the next pill. But if I can give you information that will empower you and guide you along the way so that you are the architect for the first time in your life, then you'll take your life back and you will keep it. How would you like to have abundant energy? How would you like to be free of pain? That's what I offer.
So the people listening or watching this right now, who is the ideal candidate? Who are the people that should really consider becoming? And
everybody. From the professional that has been trained and he's frustrated and he wants to really find out the core of what really heals the body, would take one of my professional courses, or the person who's sitting there right now on the couch, frustrated, tired, exhausted, or they don't have to be that way. They're not even sick yet, and they go, you know what? All you got to do, I challenge everyone else to look out there and take a look at their parents, take a look at their older aunts and uncles. That's where you're going, unless you opt into taking some type of training where you become the master, because you know what? The market is going to feed off of you until there's nothing left. So, you're either going to take control and stop living in fear, and you can't stop living in fear until what? Until you know where the light is so you can get out of the darkness.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But fear is something that's not real.
It's funny because when I was a kid, I used to watch Medical Center all the time, right? And I was such a hypochondriac. I would think I have the same, whatever the person on the show had, I thought I had that. But now it seems like our whole approach to health is changing, at least the people that are awake, right? Because in those days, it was like, you're either sick or you're not sick. You got to go to the hospital, the medical center, the doctor is going to either be able to help you or not, right? But now today, it's like when people are taking responsibility for their own health, when they take these courses and they get the knowledge they need to manage, or as you say, master their own health, then they can, then they can pick and choose from. First of all, they have a lot of knowledge themselves to deal with their own health issues, but then they'll also have the knowledge to go and when they need extra help, they'll at least know where to look.
Hey, so you know what? When you fall off track and you create the pain, at least you know how to erase it. You don't have to go, oh, I don't know what to do. Well, yeah, now that I've taken that course or I've taken the Weekend Warrior, or now that I've done what I've done, I know that I created it from that, and I know what I need to do to rebalance myself. So even if you're not willing to change or get rid of bad habits, at least have some firemen there just kind of dousing down the fire so you don't burn up the whole forest, right? Until you are ready to change.
Okay.
Now the reality, too, if I could just say one last thing.
Yeah.
So just, the thing is that we do a lot of support. Like everybody, and even if they don't take our courses, we have what's called the Healthy to 100 Club. If people go to my website at docofdetox.com, they can join right now the Healthy to 100 Club free. But we are going to be shutting it down, and there is a monthly charge. But for those people who see this, they can go there as long as we haven't reached our limit. But even if they haven't, they may want to go and check and see what this Healthy to 100 Club is, because there we provide videos and training and teleconferencing and webinars, and it all comes with this. And that's what we want to do, is we want to make a difference to you.
Okay. And also people, you mentioned one of the courses online. People can actually go there right now and sign up for that, I presume.
Well, for the online whole life course, it's not run as often as the rest, but it will eventually, because it's going to kick in.
Okay.
It will eventually kick in. But they can go to the International Training Institute, they can go to the International Training Institute of Health.com, or otherwise itioh.com, and they can look at all the courses there.
And you travel around, right? So, I mean, people are going to be watching this from all over the world. Like,
Yes.
you know, how can they know either if their course is coming to their area, or if they want to ask you to come visit, or?
They go on docofdetox.com or the International Training Institute.com, and they can look at events calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the other thing too is people who we have trained, we actually have a map, and we'll have different therapists that will be in different parts of the world that they can
So
click
these
on.
people, because once you finish the courses, you're a trained professional.
That's right, and they
right?
can do these. They can do this, and we promote them, and they will even have information about them. And like I said, the training doesn't stop. We continually keep training, keep updating, and we keep sharing the knowledge to make sure that we empower everyone.
So it sounds like, you know, once you're in any of the courses and graduate, you're kind of part of a community.
That's right. We want that, a community.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, Darrell. Thanks for coming back on the show, Dr. Darrell Wolfe. And we got the websites. We're going to show them as we go out, but docofdetox.com and itioh.com.
You got it.
Okay.
Hugh, it's been a pleasure, and really enjoy being here.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, so we're going to take a little break here on Liquid Lunch. We're going to come back sometime after this with more here on thatchannel.com.